Hey, what's up, haters and supporters? Today we're gonna do a little bit of a different video. I know if you clicked on this video, you probably have zero idea who I am because I have 0 subscribers on YouTube, but my name is Nico, and I am uploading a video to YouTube every single day so I get better at speaking to the camera. I noticed I wasn't breathing, so that's why I need to practice speaking better. So I normally talk about topics that I actually like self-improvement, self-development, a little bit of philosophy, even though I've never studied philosophy, a little bit of social commentary. I'm not huge in politics. I have my opinions here and there, but I decided I'm gonna challenge myself again today. I have a little bit of pride in myself because I like to think that I am a fair person. So I know there's a big topic in the world right now, which is Greenland. The U.S. Trump claims he wants the U.S. to have Greenland. So let's talk about that. And bear in mind, this is me, someone who has only probably seen and heard of headline news, someone who has never studied anything political. I'm just like a person trying to be fair, trying to talk about this. Okay, so I'm American. I was born in Ecuador, but I live in Miami. Right now I'm in Amsterdam, but that's besides the point. And when I think of, to be honest, my first thought was like, oh, that'd be cool, like a 51st state. But of course, that's my first immediate animal instinct, first thing that came to mind. Now, as someone who doesn't know anything about politics at all, I'm gonna stop excusing myself by saying I don't know anything about anything, and I'm just gonna give you my really unfair, uneducated opinion that I don't hold dear to my heart at all. This is just so I get better at speaking. Okay, you guys ready? Okay. I think it would be cool to have like another place, another option to live. I most likely would never live there. And I don't know, I'm thinking about how that would benefit my country, because human beings are selfish. They think of themselves first. If you're better than that, then congratulations, you're like an angel. I don't know, like, how would tourism be? Would I go there a little bit more often? Would there be a lot of new development? Would the world change a lot? Maybe a new tourist hotspot I can visit to? And then I start thinking about the people there. Like, you know, what I'm thinking, I first thought of myself, and then I realized that's slightly selfish. In reality, probably wouldn't be plausible. To the people of Greenland, would they want that to happen? Denmark never in a million years would want it. I don't know what other ulterior motives does the U.S. have for doing this. Maybe they're just claiming to want Greenland because I don't know, they want to assert their dominance or make them a little frightened, or I don't know, some PR move. And the reality, the U.S. has no intentions. I don't know. I don't know. Then I started thinking about how would the U.S. go about actually acquiring it? I don't think that Denmark would just give it for free. Is there a price? How much would Greenland be worth? Would we have to go to war for it? Let's talk about the price. I have no freaking idea. Yesterday I was talking to ChatGPT. I was like, I don't know, how much is like a huge piece of land like Greenland worth? So I'm gonna just give it. And I thought, I don't know, Miami, the city that I live in, sounds like a good city. It's one of the top cities in the U.S., but of course it's not as big as Greenland. I just asked ChatGPT, how much is the like total land value if I were to buy every single piece of land in Miami-Dade County? And I don't know if that's a good way to measure a country. I'm going totally off vibes right now, but it gave me an answer. I don't know if it was like 700 billion or a trillion. And I was like, no way a country would ever spend that much money to get that piece of land. Man, land's gotten really expensive. And then I asked ChatGPT in a different chat, and it said Greenland, I don't know, fair price would be like 13 billion. And I don't know if, I guess it makes sense. Miami already has development, already has an economy, I'm sure much bigger than all of Greenland. But I don't know, even the potential land or things you can do in Greenland, maybe it is really hard since it is snowy. I'm guessing other people would have already developed, Denmark itself would have developed it, Greenlanders themselves would have developed it already, if it was good real estate or whatever. But I don't know. To buy all of Miami, I don't know, $1 trillion, and to buy Greenland, 13 billion doesn't match up. So I don't know. Let's meet in the middle. Somewhere along the middle, let's say Greenland is worth $192 billion. I don't know. That's pretty tasty for Denmark. But I don't know. I don't know if there would be a price for that. I know the U.S. bought Alaska. Did they buy Alaska from Russia? I don't even know. I know they bought Louisiana for really cheap. Okay, now the next part, which is going to war for it, invading it. When I think of the U.S. going to war to get a piece of land, it makes me feel like we've stepped back into the olden ways of humanity. But then I also think, are we really that much better? We're really the same people. I just feel like we're morally superior because customs have changed gradually. Now we identify with being better people. But are we really? I feel like given the right circumstances, we would all be decently evil dictators who want to take over land and acquire power. Most of us are just brain rot, dopamine addicted, fat, normies, simpletons. But given the right circumstances, we'd probably be the people that we always judge. I don't know, maybe you think you have some amazing free will, or your inner soul is just a great person. I don't know what you like to believe. But yeah, I'm saying all this, but my simpleton mind, or whatever type of mind I have, I feel as if though one life is worth more than $1 trillion, and that's kind of half controversial, kind of not. I would not kill my mom for any amount of money, or my wife, or my kids. So when I think of going to war and invading the land by force, I think it's just not worth it. But again, that's just my opinion. And I condemn the people who don't value human life. I agree human life is valuable, but I feel like that's mostly a feeling. It's not like an objective truth of the world. Does that make sense? I don't believe in objective morality. No, hold on. Sometimes I take away God and energies and the universes, or like religious stuff, out of the picture. I have like two versions of myself. Technically, I choose to believe there's objective morality because I choose to believe in God, but sometimes I like strip everything, just try to be logical and fair based on whatever humans deem logic to be. And I think that objective morality doesn't make sense without God. We can define some things to be moral, but it's not like a super, it's not truth. It's just like culture. Does that make sense? So yeah, war feels bad, but I don't know, like every single country, at least I think every single country, at least the vast majority of countries right now, are countries, and they have the borders that they have because of force in the past. And I know Russia wants to take Ukraine by force. And there's people on both sides, I guess the popular Western opinion is Russia bad, but there's some people defending Russia. Some people saying that sucks for you, Ukraine, but we don't want to help you because we don't want to get involved. I think those are the basics of it. And then when we think of rightful ownership of a country being by brute force, I think of immigration. I'll tell you why. Because right now we accept that the US is the US and that we own it, even though we got it by force, by wars with the English and wars with the Native Americans and lots of killings. I wonder if I'm saying this relates to immigration because I know a lot of Americans, at least probably in Europe as well, they feel like they're the true rightful owners, and they don't like immigrants. And the only reason that they accept that they're Americans and that they are the rightful owners of the space is because their ancestors years ago fought a bunch of people to get it. And I think that's fair. I think I agree with that. I think I don't know if if Peru were to invade Chile by force and takes over the government, then they're technically, I don't approve of it, of course. Is this like, I don't think this is controversial to say they're the right, I mean, they're not the morally right owners, but they're the rightful owners because they control the power, they control the area. Does that make sense? So I don't know, but like I do feel iffy about people being entitled to the best rights and a higher quality of life in a first world country like the US because their ancestors years ago died in a war. I don't know. It's kind of like I feel like it's morally virtuous to die in a war for your country. But I see it like in a first principles kind of way. It's just a bunch of psychological things and identifying with your tribe and really just stuff that happened. I don't personally believe they're morally virtuous for it. It feels iffy, but I do agree. I'm not saying that there should be open borders and this all should be a hellhole, all hell let loose, open borders everywhere. I think in an idealistic world, everything would be one single country and we'd all be happily ever after, and there probably wouldn't even be the need for laws because humans would be instinctively, naturally, always morally perfect. But yeah, I guess we have to have some law. It's not controversial. We have to have laws because humans aren't perfect. Not because laws are the right thing to do, but because humans suck. All right, that's my take on Greenland. I don't know, I managed to yap for 11 minutes about related topics, which is nice. God bless you. If you believe in love, then you already believe in God because God is love. But who am I to know? I'm just a measly little human being. Who's anyone to know about God, bro?